Good afternoon and welcome to More Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and this is my co-host, Crane the Cat, who is doing, his job, sleeping on the table, as orange cats should. Either that or eating. Anyway, today's video is going to be about the vehicle mode for Transformers Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, and I've got a lot to say today about Bumblebee's vehicle mode, because honestly, so far, the robot mode hasn't been the best, but it was pretty good. It was decent. It had just a little bit more, it'd be a perfect Bumblebee. And then we got a transformation that was sublime, a really great transformation. I enjoyed the transformation. And now we're going to come to what I think is the worst part. And it's really sad because Studio Series 86 has been trying their best to make animation accurate vehicles that were accurate to the animation of the Transformers, the movie from 1986. And I don't know what they were smoking whenever they were designing this Bumblebee's vehicle mode. So we're going to get into it today. We got a little comparisons. I've got Origins Bumblebee here. I've got ER Bumblebee here. And I also have Studio Series 86 Brawn to give you an idea of, I think he was Studio Series 86. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, let me give you an idea of what's going on here. So first off, let's compare him to Origins. And Origins and him, he is definitely taller than Origins, but Origins is a wider Bumblebee, and Origins is definitely a longer Bumblebee. There's a length difference of about a fingertip between the two Bumblebees. So Origins and 86. Yeah, not too bad, but definitely, there's something I want to talk about in a second when it comes to that. And there's a reason I've brought Brawn into this conversation other than, instead of Wheeljack or Cliffjumper. Not Wheeljack, Hound or Cliffjumper. Now let's move over to the ER Bumblebee, and we're going to compare these two guys. So we got the, ER Bumblebee, his nose sticks out a bit more, as does Origins. And Studio Series 86 Bumblebee is still a bit taller, but not by much. ER Bumblebee really takes the cake when it comes to Bumblebee. There's just a few problems with this vehicle mode, and I was hoping 86 would fix it, because right here we got, the wheels are a little too far apart, and 86 did fix that. They did make the wheels closer together, made it feel more like a Volkswagen Beetle, where this thing feels, ER Bumblebee feels like somebody merged a Volkswagen Beetle with a, with one of those cars from the 1920s that had the wheel well on, had the spare wheel just hanging out next to the driver's side, and it had the same rear end that this ER Bumblebee has. Like they could have just redesigned this to be, one of those really fancy Rolls Royce style cars from the 1920s, and I think it would have looked better. But finally, let's bring in Brawn here. And I'm bringing in Brawn to showcase that Brawn is definitely longer than Bumblebee, and they are at about the same width, but Brawn is definitely just a bit wider than Bumblebee. And height-wise, Bumblebee and Brawn are at the same height. So why did I bring in Brawn, and what's up with this stuff? What do I not like? Because I've pretty much, stated it off. I haven't said it directly, but I don't like this vehicle mode. And we're going to talk about why I don't like this vehicle mode. And mainly, see, when this vehicle was announced, when the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee was announced, I heard something very terrifying, in my opinion. This was scary for me as a collector. I heard the words Pennyracer. And listen, there are some G1 collectors out there who die for Pennyracer, Transformers. Me, personally, I've always thought that was always a crock of crap. I hated Pennyracers. I thought they were just stupid. And I still, to this day, will die on the hill of thinking Pennyracers are stupid. Toys. They're just... We didn't need anything associated with Pennyracers here. If you wanted to give us Pennyracer G1 Bumblebee, the Legacy line, the Generations line, Transformers Prime's coming up next, you got that one. You got that one to do, okay? You've got plenty of options to go forward with in the Transformers Legacy line, or Prime, whatever they're going to call it, the Transformers Generation toys. not Studio Series. Studio Series specifically was to focus on the movie. Whichever movie that is. Movie, not toy. Movie, not toy. It's that freaking simple. Okay? They screwed up here, and I knocked him over. Look at this. Look at the back of this, okay? So I'm going to describe it. I'm going to take his gun off. I do like the fact that the gun stores on the back, okay? I'm going to give a positive to that. But it's this rear of the vehicle. So we actually shouldn't start with the rear, the part that I despise. Let's describe this vehicle, and then I'm going to talk about the rear of it and talk about, like, what I don't like. So the front of this vehicle mode, very reminiscent of a Volkswagen Beetle, except for these really wide wheel wells. Like, look at the wheel wells on ER Bumblebee. They're really nice. And I brought out Braun here because Braun's wheel wells are very similar. They're big and bulky and they stick out. And that's kind of what happens with a Volkswagen Beetle. And in the front, they do kind of do it, but I personally think these wheel wells stick out too far for the animation model. And I went blind a few years ago. And that's something else we're going to talk about. No, not the blindness thing. But I've seen the movie enough times. I could swear to you, the wheel wells were not this fat on the Bumblebee in the movie. And I wanted the Bumblebee from the movie because as a blind person, I can't experience that Bumblebee anymore. And I wanted to experience that Bumblebee, not Pennyracer Bumblebee. I don't ever want to touch another Pennyracers Bumblebee, and you got me to buy one. You nasty people. Coming over here. So we've got nice little door, and it's really, really nicely sculpted in there, except that these wheel wells are freaking giant and shouldn't have been as wide. The inside vehicle part here should have been equal with the wheel well on either side. Okay, there should have at least been a runner like is on this Bumblebee. This longer Beetle, and just can't get over that. And that's why I brought out Braun here, because Braun's got the similar thing, but Braun needs this similar thing. This is Braun's thing to have these big wheel wells and then like this little piece underneath it and the door between them. It's Braun's thing. It's not Bumblebee's thing. And now we come around here to the back, to this rear wheel here that's too square in my opinion. Even though the corners around it, it still feels too square for a Volkswagen Beetle. It feels too square for that. And then we come around here. Wait, before we get to the back, let's talk about the biggest screw up here on this being a Volkswagen Beetle. Okay, here is ER Bumblebee. There is a rearview mirror on the driver's side. There is not a rearview mirror on the other side. That is a Volkswagen Beetle. They only had one rearview mirror. Why does he have two? Why does he got two? He didn't have two in the animation. He has only had one rearview mirror, and this guy's got two rearview mirrors. This is not the Bumblebee vehicle from the movie. Coming around here to the back, we've got this flat, ugly back. Like it starts off kind of rounded, but we're going to get into that. But then it flattens out, and you can feel in here how they basically have it kind of set up to be the impression of a penny in the Pennyracer, or at least just the idea of like there's this kind of the slot area where it should go, but it's really flat back here, and it shouldn't be. It should be rounded. It should be rounded. This Bumblebee, look, there's a sharp corner there. There's a sharp corner there. And there's a sharp. This thing's got 4 sharp corners at the top. No sharp corners with a Volkswagen Beetle. Like I wish I could just bring out a toy of a Volkswagen Beetle and further, you just get the Hot Wheels one and take a look at that. No corners. The Beetle is a rounded vehicle, and this is not a rounded vehicle. This is just from the front. It's so Beetle-like. I like the bigger window. I like everything about the front of this mode. And then you get this extra rear view mirror, and I'm nitpicking on that one, but I wanted it to be like the movie. That's why I'm collecting Studio Series 86, because I want my Transformers from that movie because I can't see them anymore and I want to be able to have animation accurate Transformers. This one, ER isn't animation accurate. He's too long. And this one isn't animation accurate. So I'm also going to yell at Volkswagen here because, damn it, Volkswagen, you're one of the issues going on here because you refuse to make weapons of war or something. Oh, I can't have a gun. We all know you made Panzer tanks and stuff. Get over yourselves, Volkswagen. Thank you. Look, I'm going to put the gun back in here to kind of give you the idea of that, like, bicycle rack or something it's got going on here. But yeah, that's look. Even Origins Bumblebee here is a smooth masterpiece. Okay, there's barely any points on this guy. It's all smooth and rounded edges. It feels glorious. It does. And ER was so close, but didn't quite get it. Like it needs to be squeezed together just a bit. It just needed to be squeezed together a bit more. And they did that here. They squeezed it together, what I wanted them to do. But in the process of doing it, they took away some of the features that really make this a Volkswagen Beetle. It's not a bug. It's like some knockoff, off-brand version of a bug that you would have bought from China for half price. It's it's really trashy. And I don't know what they were trying to do here. I don't know why they chose this for 86. They could have put this in Legacy, and I would not be giving it as much negative attention as I am right now if it was in the Legacy line. Because I would have been like, oh yeah, G1 Bumblebee based on the toy. That's Legacy for you. But Studio Series 86 is supposed to be animation accurate. That's what we were sold on. That is what the goal of the entire line is. And to see them so royally screw this up, it's sad. And it makes me wonder, what's next? Are we going to get a green Megatron? Like, I understand it can't transform into a Nug or a Pew Pew or whatever the hell the kids say these days. But it can't transform into that thing, a Walter. And I get it, okay? Make it into something else, but be more creative than an H tank. For the love of freaking God, be more creative than an H tank, because I am done with H tanks. I won't, and I promise you this, Hasbro, I will not buy another H tank Megatron. Okay? Because all you're doing is recycling the siege mold. You've put more time, money, and attention into Bumblebee than you have into Megatron, and that is a freaking crime. These three Bumblebees, if you had treated them like Megatron, would have all been ER Bumblebee. All of them would have just been ER Bumblebee with different paint, because that's how you've been treating Megatron. So, I hope you at least make Megatron chrome and shiny. For the love of God, please give us a shiny Megatron. We just want a shiny Megatron. And we just want a Bumblebee that's animation accurate. That's what we require, okay? And I didn't think it was a big ask. I didn't, so far at Studio Series 86, you've been pretty good. You've been amazing. Even going so far as to have that little fold-out part for the one guy that becomes the cool spaceship. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but I'll remember it later after I finish recording. But my score for this vehicle mode is going to be a 4 out of 10. And I'm going to stick to that. It's going to be a 4 out of 10 because it was not what they sold us on. It's not based on the Studio Series 86 animation. Instead, it's based on a toy, a Pennyracers. And if this has been the Legacy line, this score would probably be, closer, like to 7 or 8 because of how close to a Pennyracers it got. But I'm not judging it on how close to a Pennyracers it looks or feels. I'm judging it on how close to the animation it looks and feels. And it's not that. They did not give us what they promised here. And that's that's a shame. That's a shame. So that is my review of Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. The robot mode got a 7 out of 10. The transformation got a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed the transformation. But then we come down here to this lackluster vehicle mode that's so close to being something. But it's like it's either it just comes off it to me as a penny racer merged with animation Bumblebee from 86 movie. That's what it feels like to me. It's like the hideous monstrous merging of those two elements of Transformers, and it's disgusting in my opinion. It's just gross. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it makes me sad that I don't like it because I was wanting to like this one. I really was. So that's a 3. No, 4. I gave it a 4 because it is a decent vehicle mode. Everything sticks together. Nothing's like popping out or anything like that. You can drop the guy and the gun won't even fall off. So it's going to get a 4 because it is decent at that. So 4, 10, 7. Oh, that's going to be a weird average. Let's see if I can figure it out in my head. I'm going to say rough off the cuff 5.5, 6 out of 10. I think the 4 really screwed up their score there, but that 10 really helped it out. So yeah, it's going to get a 6 out of 10 overall rating for the entire package of all these modes. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I know, I was very negative in this video, but I warned you that I was gonna have some things to say about Bumblebee's vehicle mode. Sure enough, I did. I hope all of you out there have a wonderful day. Please, I do tell you that this is a decent Bumblebee, but it is a shame that it's not what I wanted in a Bumblebee. And that's what I'm grading it on. What I wanted in a Bumblebee. So it's not for me. No, Penny Racers suck. Till next Prime. Bye bye for now.